let's dig deeper into what I talked about last podcast, which was the grassroots marketing we did at our boat dealership, because there's a lot that restaurants can learn from this.
My goal is to help restaurant owners finally get to where they want to go. But more than that, my goal is to find entrepreneurs within that segment that actually know what it means to hustle. That's my goal. Come on the journey with me.
Restaurant Marketing Secrets, episode 180. I'm your host, Matt Plapp, and we're brought to you by America's Best Restaurants. America's Best Restaurants is on a path to help you, independent restaurant owners, find more frequent customers, because infrequent customers are not paying your bills. Let's discuss. So last episode, I dug into grassroots marketing with regards to Sierra and her visit to the B&I chapter and the impact that she had on a small room of business professionals with Buffalo Bob's. Now, I want to talk about what I talked about a little there with my experience in our boat dealership, because we were grassroots ninjas. I actually got to have a meeting with a guy named Jay Conrad Livingston, and he was I think he's authored a couple books called The Guerrilla Marketing Guru, Godfather of Guerrilla Marketing. The guy's a beast, and became friends with him through a couple meetings back in the day, a long time ago, because he knew about our grassroots marketing tactics and nobody else was doing it. So I'll never forget the day that we started doing this. So we're at the Dayton Boat Show in Dayton, Ohio. And I put this in context. We were a Kentucky boat dealership. Most dealerships around us did the Cincinnati Boat Show. We did Lexington, Louisville, Indianapolis, Dayton, Columbus, and Cincinnati, boat and RV. We were maniacs, because to me, that was the ultimate grassroots marketing. That, yes, I'm paying to have a booth there, but who goes to a boat show? People wanting to buy a boat. Who goes to fishing shows? Same thing. All the other dealers in our area were too lazy to get outside of those areas and get outside their comfort zone. I didn't give a shit. I was young and hungry, and even my dad, who at the time was in his 50s and early 60s, was hungry as well, and so was my brother and our whole team. We were there doing these shows at a high level, and it's one of the reasons that we grew so big. So we're at this boat show in Dayton, and by the way, the convention this boat show was in was a shithole. I'd never seen such a bad convention. It eventually got tore down. They built a different one on the other side of town, but literally had parts where the floor was dirt. It was funny. But I'm like, hey, we're here. Maybe our fishermen friends and followers will like this. And so we've got this boat show we're at, and this guy walks up to me, and I put this in context. I'm 20. This was 19. When was this? 2003. So I was 20 years ago. I was 26 years old. Not a fisherman at all. Didn't like the concept of grabbing a fish by the mouth and pulling the hook out. I was not a fisherman. Wasn't me. Guy walks up to me. He's like, hey, man, you're Matt, the owner, right? I'm like, yeah. And everybody knew me as the owner because I was the marketing everywhere. Me and my dad and brother were partners, but I was always the face. And he said, hey, we're looking for sponsorship for our fishing tournament. I wondered if you might sponsor us. I'm like, fishing tournament? What the hell's a fishing tournament? To me, it was foreign. He's like, well, it's we all get together every Tuesday night, and about 20 of us, and whoever has the most fish wins. And I'm like, this is foreign to me. And he explained. I actually said, dude, I'm ignorant on this part of it. Explain it to me. I've never been to one. And he's like, yeah. So you get, I think it was 5 fish. You get your five fish bag. The most fish, you got to be over 12 inches. It's catch and release. But whoever has the heaviest bag of 5 fish wins. I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, there's 20 of us that show up every week. We're a little club. We do it on, I think it was Tuesday nights. And I'm like, so what do you have now? He said, nothing. And the one thing that really triggered me was he said, yeah, we've been trying to get Dixie Marine to sponsor us, and they never will. And Dixie Marine was the mecca back then. Well, within a year and a half, we were kicking their ass. We were literally destroying them. And I said, what do you mean? Well, they won't give us anything. Like, they're Ranger boats, and they got everything going on, and they're the place that would sponsor us, but they wouldn't. And I said, well, what would be beneficial? Like gift cards? What would help you? And he said, anything. I said, okay, let's do this. Let's give you 2 $25 gift cards that are good for whatever you want in our store. We had a fishing tackle department. We sold oil. Now, keep in mind, this was in Dayton, Ohio, about an hour to hour and a half away from us. And these guys were blown away. And I said, man, and he's like, well, can we put a sign up? And I'm like, yeah, I'll get you a sign made. And so that got my wheels turning. I went to a couple tournaments. And so within a year, I came up with a program that said, hey, if you have a fishing club or tournament that is below, I want to say it was below 40 boats, you got $50 in gift cards. You got 225s. If you were above 40 boats, 40 or higher, you got a 50, a 25, a 10, and a 15, something like that. But you had to hang our yard sign. We had little yard signs made. We had banners. If you were the person in charge of it, you got a 10% discount all the time at our store. I did whatever it took to get these tournaments and people on my side. And the results were insane. We interrupt your program for a brief announcement from our sponsor.
Hey, it's Matt. And yeah, that was me. But guess what? We don't have any sponsors. It's just us, America's Best Restaurants. We don't take money for our podcast. We don't sell sponsorships. We don't have product placements. It's just me giving you advice that can help your restaurant get to the next level. But what I would love for you to do is check out what America's Best Restaurants is doing at americasbestrestaurants.com. Check out our ABR Roadshow on the Get Featured tab, or check out what we're doing under Restaurant Marketing Help that can help you, independent restaurants, take the next step in your marketing. Now back to the podcast. Within a year, we were getting inundated with gift cards. I never forget, our bookkeeper came and said, Matt, this is a terrible idea because the employees are saying that people that come in with these gift cards don't buy anything else, blah, blah, blah. Same thing you all say. I hear it from restaurants. I heard it twice this past week. I hear it 100 times a month that all people that we give buy one, get one free burgers to or free appetizers to come in, get an appetizer, get a water, and leave. And it's not the case. I've done the research on thousands of campaigns, tens of thousands. It's 5 to 8% of the people that bring those promos in and are cheap asses. The people you don't remember are the amazing customers, unfortunately. You remember the negative because we all complain about the negative. The bartender who didn't get tipped from the guy that looked like a homeless guy that came in with his free appetizer on Facebook Messenger and got a water and didn't tip and leave. That's who you remember. You don't remember the other 20 families of 4 that came in and dropped $50 a piece. Same in our dealership. Everybody was complaining, oh, these people that are wrong ones, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. And this was 2004, 4-ish ballpark, when it really started ramping up. We're going to staple every gift card. There was nothing digital back then. This was literally a piece of paper gift certificate. I want you to staple it to the receipt, print, because we had paper receipts we could do. Staple it to the receipt when you put it in the till. And I said, here's number one rule. Those gift certificates are cash. Those people are more important than people who pay cash or credit card. Because that was one of the things also I had heard from some of our people that they got these snarky looks when they handed their gift cards in. And I said, so that shit ends. Everybody that walks in here gets treated exactly the same. But you know what? If you want to treat people differently that are bringing a gift certificate in, treat them better. Because they're at a fishing tournament. They are our core customer. It's like I mentioned last episode, the people that are in B&I chapters, business events, they're out in the community more. They have the ability to eat at your restaurant more often than the traditional person. And so we started stapling these receipts to the back of them. Within a year, the next year we did right around 31 grand in gift cards we gave out. And the stats were pretty mind-boggling. So we gave out 31 grand in gift cards. I remember these numbers like it was back of my hand. Those $31,000 in gift cards we gave out, 40% never got redeemed. So we only saw 60% of them walk in the door. And then of the 60%, that drove $400,000 in sales. And here was the cool part. There were actually a handful of boats. I'll never forget the guy that came in and made a point of it to walk up to me in my office and goes, hey, can I use my $25 gift card on that Triton TR21 in your showroom? What? Yeah, of course. And he spent $50,000 on a 21-foot Triton bass boat and used his gift card and had a laugh about it. And the whole reason I did these was, number one, yes, I wanted to drive those people into my business because I knew that they were better than other customers because they're not only fishing boat owners, but they're in fishing clubs, they're in fishing tournaments, they're doing extra. And I thought, well, if I give out, let's just do the math. Let's say it was $25 in gift cards. If I give out, we'll round down to 20 because some of them were 10 and 15. If I go to $20,
It's 1,500 gift cards. Actually, I think it was 1,100 tournaments the one year we sponsored, if I remember the correct number. It's actually one of my books. I put the stats in there because I remember doing these so much on Excel spreadsheets back then because everybody questioned me my lunacy on it. Matt, you're wasting money. You're giving away 30 grand in gift cards. I'm like, well, let's look at it. I gave away 30 grand in gift cards. 40% didn't get redeemed, so that's 12 grand. So that means $18,000 in retail. We mark everything up 100%, so that means I really gave out $9,000 in crap, and we drove 400 grand in sales. Even if that 9 grand in crap drove 30 grand in sales, I'm happy because I know that when we take care of people, they're eventually going to need to buy a boat. They're going to need service. They're going to need parts, accessories. They're going to need the fishing gear. And our fishing gear was the milk from the grocery store for us. It was a loss leader. But it drove massive amounts of people in. And we did this for multiple years. I went out and I told anybody that's got a tournament, you got any tournament, a one-off tournament or an event, like a weekly event, we got you. And if you're the person in charge of it, we got you, man. We give you a shirt. You get a logoed shirt. It was really cool. They were these real nice fishing shirts. You get a discount. And guess what? Your 10% is also good on a boat, which blew people away because nobody did that stuff. And I'm like, you know what? You're the most important person in that league. I want you on our side. We became one of the top fishing boat dealerships in the United States within a couple years from these tactics. So why am I telling you this? Well, take my business, restaurant marketing. There's not, number one, we work with independents. Number two, we work with a very specific type of independent. And number three, there's a lot of their business. Like I'm looking out my window of our headquarters right now, and I can see the city of Florence. I can see a gas station. I can see the truck stop up there. I can look across the other side of our building. I can see Quaker Steak and Lube, the movie theater, the mall. There's a lot of car dealers. 9 out of 10 businesses that I can put marketing in front of can't buy from me. 10 out of 10 people you put marketing in front of can buy from you as a restaurant. So your grassroots marketing are those fishing tournaments, our B&I chapters, our football games, baseball games, soccer games. I mean, if I was a restaurant owner, and I can't wait till I am because that is in our vivid vision, it's in our company vision to own a restaurant called Starter's Diner, just so I can practice everything we preach. I don't want to run a restaurant. I'm going to have somebody run it for me, but we're going to run the marketing, and we're going to run the front of house, and we're going to freaking dominate it. And we're going to dominate the community because we will do anything and everything to put a gift certificate digitally in every phone within an hour of this restaurant. When Plaps existed, my goal was to put a gift certificate in every wallet within an hour of our dealership. Why? Because every Sunday back then, they opened this thing called the Sunday paper that we couldn't afford to be in. But Bass Pro Shops could. And Bass Pro Shops was our best marketing because when Bass Pro Shops had their giant circular in there every Sunday, it got people's attention. And my thought process was, if I'm a fisherman that has a gift certificate for $25 to Plaps, to me that's free. It might cost me $20 in gas to get there. I don't give a shit. I got a gift certificate. I wanted to trigger that thought when they opened up Bass Pro Shop Circular. And I can tell you this, it happened every week. Every week, people walked in and bought what was in the Bass Pro Shop Circular. I would stock what they had. When I would see what they were marketing, because they would market it for multiple weeks in a row, I would get it in. People would walk in and buy it, and I heard all the time, oh, man, I saw this new spinnerbait. I saw it in the Bass Pro. I was hoping you guys had it. Saw it in their Sunday Circular. And I got my gift card from the fishing tournament. And we had people driving from all over. We were sponsoring tournaments as far as Louisville, Lexington, Indianapolis, Columbus, Dayton. We were disliked by our competitive boat dealerships in those markets because I crossed every boundary. We didn't sell our product for less profit than anybody else. We held our margins. We were very ethical. But I'm like, you know what? If you're going to suck at marketing, I'm going to dominate you. And it's the same with your restaurants. I'll go to my son's lacrosse games this spring, and there'll be 3 or 4 or 5 restaurants that sponsor it with the little fold-up sign on the track. Not one of them will ever show up. To track, to football, to baseball, to volleyball, to band. None of them will show up. If I was you as a restaurant owner, every athletic coach within distance of my restaurant would have a free 100% card. Hey, anytime you come here, coach, it's on me. Because guess what? Coach is going to bring assistant coaches. Coach is going to bring the team. Coach is going to support those places. That's the grassroots marketing you want. Think about it. Think if you were, like I'm at Ryle High School, and across the street is Strong's Brick Oven Pizza. Up the street is Valet Escondido. I like saying that. Up the street from that is Barley Corns. Those are 3 independent. Buffalo Bob's is about a mile behind that. So I'm going to send this to Bob. Bob, this is a great idea. Reach out to every person at that school that has influence. Girls basketball coach, guys basketball coach, girls softball coach, guys baseball coach, girls track, guys track, girls lacrosse, guys lacrosse, band, soccer, volleyball, everything. Reach out to every sport and tell the coach that we got a new initiative. It's called Operation Take Care of the People Who Take Care of Our Community. And you coaches are an important part of our community because you instill hard work, values, and ethics in our youth. You have a free meal here whenever you come. Here's a card. Can't cover alcohol for obvious reasons. But every time you come, your meal, your appetite, your meal is paid for, whatever you want to do. Let's say there's 100 coaches. And let's say that those 100 coaches take you up on that. Let's say 50% of them do. So there's 50 coaches. And let's say they come 10 times a year. It's 500 visits, and you give them a $10 food cost item for free. That means you just spent $5,000. Maybe it's just the entree or food. It's not the appetizer or drinks. So you're going to make some money back. How many times do you think they're eating alone? And how many times do you think the person they're eating with now goes, man, this place is good. I'm coming back. How many times do you think they're going to turn around and go, we need to cater to the football event. I'm going to call Buffalo Bob's. You're going to become top of mind. That's what we did with the fishing people. I wanted every person who had influence over fishing tournaments or events to be in my pocket, and they were. Restaurants, take control of your community. Get out there and do what nobody else is doing, because guess what? Nobody else is doing it. It's your opportunity to kick their ass. That's all I got. See you next episode. So as you know, I don't charge for my content. We don't have sponsors. We don't have product placement in here. But what I want your help with is spreading the word. If you're finding value here, do me a favor. Share this on your social media. Share an episode with something that made sense to you, that's relevant to your restaurant, that you got value from, and tag Matt Plapp and America's Best Restaurants. Also, go to America's Best Restaurants on Facebook and on Google and leave us a review. Let us know the impact we've had on your restaurant with our roadshow, with our marketing help, or with our podcast. And last but not least, if you want to take the next step and help me out a lot and help us out a lot, text me a testimonial, 859-743-2408. That's my cell. A selfie video would be awesome about the impact this content or our company is having on your independent restaurant. But worst case scenario, just a few kind words. The way we can help lift this industry up is to help get content like this to more independent restaurant owners, and you are the key to spreading the word. I appreciate your support. Have an amazing day.